I used to believe my life was already finished. At 68, living alone, I thought all the important chapters had already happened. But one night, I heard a baby crying in the apartment next door. And I had no idea that this tiny stranger would change the rest of my life. I didn't know he would call me a grandma, or that his parents would one day ask me something that would shake my world completely. This is the story of how a knock on my door at 3 a.m. gave me a new family. I've been living alone for many years now. My children have their own lives in another city, and my grandchildren only see me through a screen once a month. My small apartment became my universe, quiet evenings, a slow routine, and a silence so deep it could swallow you whole. Everything changed 6 months ago, when a young couple moved into the apartment next door, with a newborn. At first, I only heard them. The baby crying at all hours. The mother's quiet sobs. Arguments behind thin walls. That exhausting chaos of new parenthood. I remember feeling annoyed. I wanted silence. Peace. Rest. But life had other plans. One cold afternoon, I saw her in the stairwell. She looked so young, so exhausted, her hands trembling on the stroller handle, tears silently running down her cheeks. I asked gently, "Are you all right?" She tried to smile, but her voice cracked. "I haven't slept in 3 weeks. My husband works all day. My mother lives far away. I feel like I'm failing my baby. I don't know what to do anymore." Her pain hit me like a memory. I saw myself 40 years ago. Terrified, overwhelmed, convinced I was the worst mother alive. I told her softly, "Come tomorrow at 3. Bring the baby." And she did. She placed the baby in my arms. His tiny face was red from crying. His breathing uneven. His body tense. I held him, rocked him slowly, hummed an old lullaby I hadn't sung in decades. He fell asleep within 5 minutes. She stared at me like she had witnessed a miracle. But this wasn't a miracle. This was motherhood. A lifetime of experience. A calm heartbeat. Hands that remembered everything. 3 times a week she visited. I watched the baby so she could sleep. Sometimes for an hour. Sometimes for 2. Afterward, we drank tea together, and I taught her how to swaddle, how to understand his cries, how to trust herself, how not to fear motherhood. Week by week, she became stronger. Her voice steadier. Her eyes brighter. She smiled again. One day, she hugged me and said, "You saved me. I thought I was losing my mind. Thank you." But I didn't save her. She saved me. She brought life back into my quiet apartment. One morning, she knocked on my door with tears in her eyes, but this time they were tears of joy. He said his first word, she whispered. I smiled. "Was it Mama?" She shook her head. And then the little boy looked at me, stretched out his hands, and said, "Ba, not e mamar, not e dardar, but a grandmar." For me, my world cracked open in the most beautiful way. About a week later, at 3 in the morning, someone began pounding on my door. Rapid, panicked, desperate. I opened the door and saw her. Pale, crying, shaking, holding the baby against her chest. He's not breathing right. He's too hot. I don't know what's wrong. My husband is on a long shift. I'm alone. Please help me. I took the baby immediately. He was burning, limp, barely responsive. My heart sank. I had lived this nightmare once, decades ago, with my own son. And that memory cut through me like ice. "We're going to the hospital now," I said firmly. We ran outside. The cold night air slapped our faces. She was trembling uncontrollably. He barely moved in my arms. In the taxi, she sobbed while I held her hand and whispered, "Breathe. He's going to be okay. I'm right here." I wasn't sure if I was comforting her or myself. At the hospital, doctors rushed him away. She collapsed to her knees, crying. I'm a terrible mother. I should have noticed. I'm failing him. I knelt beside her and held her shoulders. You're not a bad mother. Bad mothers don't fear for their children. You love him. That's why you're here. She cried harder, but this time from relief. 40 minutes later, a doctor approached. High fever. Strong viral reaction. You came just in time. He'll be all right. Her legs nearly gave out. And I finally breathed for the first time in an hour. That night created something between us. That went deeper than neighbors. Deeper than friendship. It became family. The next morning, someone knocked on my door. It was her husband. Tall. Tired. Jaw clenched. He didn't look angry. Just conflicted. Can we talk? He asked. He sat at my kitchen table, looked around at the baby toys, the blankets, the memories, and said, I appreciate what you did. Truly. But I think you need to keep some distance. The words hit me like a knife. Why? I asked softly. He sighed heavily. She depends on you too much. You're with them more than I am. I'm scared she'll think I'm a bad father. And suddenly I understood. This wasn't about me. This was about his fear. So I told him gently, but firmly. You're not a bad father. You're just tired. Working too much. Missing things you wish you didn't miss. She doesn't need you to be perfect. She just needs you to be present. He swallowed hard. I'm afraid I might lose her, he said quietly. You won't, I replied. But if you force her to handle everything alone, you'll lose her emotionally. That hit him. And something shifted. Before he left, he turned back and said, "If she needs you, if the baby needs you, please be there. Just don't replace me. Help us. Be with us." It was the moment he finally allowed himself to be vulnerable. 2 months passed. Their family became healthy, united, warm. I visited often. They visited me even more. One evening, when I came home, I found a small note stuck in my door. Written in shaky handwriting. "Please come. We need to tell you something." My heart dropped. When I entered their apartment, she looked pale. He held a folder. The baby slept in his arms. "We're moving," as she said quietly. "A new job. A better salary. A different city. We leave in 2 weeks." It felt like someone pulled the floor from beneath me. 2 weeks. After everything we lived through. I sat in silence, trying not to cry. Then he opened the folder. Inside was a photo album. And under each photo, small captions. Grandma's first tea with me. Grandma teaching me to bathe. I sleep best in Grandma's arms. Grandma equals warm. She took my hand. You're part of our family. You saved us. You made me strong. You gave our son love we didn't know he needed. He added, "We want to ask you something. Would you come with us?" I looked up, stunned. "What?" "We found a house with an extra room. We don't want to lose you. Our son needs you. We need you. Please, come with us." My throat tightened. My eyes burned. I hadn't felt this wanted in decades. I stood up slowly. "If you truly want me there," I said softly, "then I will come." She burst into tears. He breathed out in relief. And the baby laughed, stretching his arms toward me. I picked him up. And it felt like picking up my own grandchild. Sometimes, family isn't made by blood. Sometimes it's formed through fear, love, sleepless nights, and the courage to knock on someone's door at 3 a.m. And sometimes, the people who need you most are the ones who arrive in your life crying in a stairwell, with a baby who just wants a little warmth.